Good Monday morning to you. Welcome to Monday Morning Musings with Steve. Hey, next to money, probably success is the big American God. And unfortunately, Madison Avenue values start infiltrating the church, and you get seminars and books, 7 Steps to Build Your Church. And you see this stuff on Facebook. It's all over the place. How to be successful. Here's the problem I have with it. In the wilderness, Jesus was faced with this basic threshold issue that he had to cross. Here's the issue. If you are who you are, do something to prove it. If you are who you say you are, prove it. Then you come towards the end of his ministry, and he's going up to the feast in John chapter 7 and 8 there. And I've always found this very interesting. His natural relatives, you can debate how are they related, brothers, sisters, however you want to believe that stuff. But here's their beef with Yeshua. Here's their beef. Well, if you really all this, why don't you do something here instead of doing all this stuff in secret? Why don't you show some initiative and prove yourself? The voice of the accuser coming through his own family, and here's the message: make yourself a success. Show us by success that you're worthy of being followed. Because if these things are really true, anybody would want it to be known. Who doesn't want? You have wonderful things to say, Yeshua. Why aren't you, And Jesus' response, not necessarily specific response, I'm putting together a bunch of narratives, is a mind-blowing one-liner that for me will take whatever days I have left, the rest of them to sort out. I only do what I see my Father doing. Saints, that has so many implications, so many levels of implications, from the micro to the macro. It's got nothing to do with what I can do, what I'm capable of, what I could do, or as if you listen to the TED Talks, how to build your tribe and how to build your brand. I had somebody, a very well-known person, very graciously, and I handled it graciously. Thank God I didn't make an idiot of myself on that one, which I've done other times. He offered to pay for free, cover me with thousands of dollars worth of marketing material. He was trying to compliment him. He said, Steve, you have things that really need to get a larger audience. I can help you. And he offered it to me for free. So I know that brother was being gracious to me from his paradigm. But I just couldn't do it. I'm thinking, look, if that's what it takes to be heard, I don't want to be heard. If that's what it takes, if I have to have a marketing department in Stefano's Ministries to make sure that that my word gets out, there's millions of voices out there. I don't want to be another sound in a Christian echo chamber. By the grace of God, I want to speak and do what my Father's telling me to do. And for me, that is a perpetual, moment by moment, perpetual reorientation. I don't feel condemned about it when I fail. I don't measure myself. I don't go to bed at night and say, well, how have I done on the only doing what God, my Father told me to do scorecard? I don't go down that road. But I do know that success is a cultural idol. Does that mean that being a failure is holy? No, it doesn't. Is God against us being prosperous and successful? No, He's not. The issue is when we make these quid pro quo equations that I am worth listening to because I am successful. I've made myself successful, therefore what I have to say is of value. Here's another one. There was nothing attractive about him that we should desire him. That doesn't fit success motif. Because, I once had a well-meaning guy say, Steve, you need to have your colors done. I said, excuse me? Oh yeah, you're going to be ministering, and you need to get a better suit, and you need to start wearing jewelry, because if you don't, if people are not going to listen to you. So you're telling me that if I don't have a fashion consultant come and do my colors, and am I a winter, am I a fall, that's going to matter? If that's what it takes to be heard, I don't want to be heard. I know this guy that he had a giant wardrobe, because he would wear what he thought he needed to wear at the church he was going to be in, to the degree that he thought that he needed to be heard by them. That's success gone to seed. I don't need that kind of success. For a believer, success has to be defined, oriented to the cross of Jesus. A cruciform sort of success, yes. A well done, my good and faithful servant. But not this cultural counterfeit of greatness equals value. And that's what he said.